Wherever. It's just the conversation.
Yep.
What's up, guys? Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, May 11th, 2023. This is Justin Coffin, and this is the 330 Sports Show. We're down here at Youngstown Studio. As you can see on camera, we have a bunch of guests. I think this is maybe the most people we've had at our upfront podcast table, but we have Mark from Second Soul. We got Rich and Aspasia from Penguin City, and Joe, you wear many hats. So what's your title?
I'm the president of the Youngstown Marathon Foundation.
That's right. And we've had you on down here to talk about that plenty of times. You have some cool stuff to share today. So let's just get right into it. So tell us, and whoever wants to go first, about the event that's going to happen and the date and all that good stuff.
We'll give you a brief synopsis, and Mark will step in. We'll talk about how it all started and how we got our friends with Penguin City.
Oh, wait, before you do, why don't you do the crack? Yeah,
the most beautiful sound in the world.
Oh, I love it. The acoustics are so good off of that.
We couldn't wait. Justin and
yeah. Well, hey, cheers.
Cheers.
And the can, check out that can, by the way, too. Perfect for. It's finally beautiful outside. So
when you actually set it in the grass, it looks like it's shorter. So if someone's saying you shouldn't be drinking 16 ounces,
you got about 14 then.
Yeah, well, I'm only drinking 14, so it'll work.
Still the same designer, your guy's cousin that's doing that?
Michael Ponticus.
Awesome.
Sure is.
Shout out to him.
Right. Yeah, he designed this. He did a great job. This design is so nice. It's so clean. Just
looks like there's the actual dimples on the can. It's very cool.
Yeah, there's a cool feel to it, too.
So, sorry, Joe, I cut you off. So
no problem.
You go for it.
So on June 9th, once again, we're going to be doing the Taste of Youngstown. Last year, we had it at the Campfield Fairgrounds. It really wasn't a true Youngstown, and we'll talk about it. This year, we approached Aspasia and Richie if we could have the taste actually in downtown Youngstown at Penguin City. And they jumped on it. They said, absolutely, come on down, let's do it. Mark and I talked about this about a year and a half ago, about starting it up. I ran in a 10-mile in Pittsburgh, and they had a lot of different things regarding Pittsburgh and trivia about Pittsburgh and different foods there. And I got back when I was done. I said, Mark, we got to do this for Youngstown because there's a true history of food and a lot of history here. And my first thing was, we're going to have, what did I say, a 10K?
Joe wanted to do a 10K in downtown Youngstown and have a different food every K. So you would have 10 different foods in downtown Youngstown, which I'm like, Joe, there's nowhere to run downtown. Number one. Number two, the construction. Number three, nobody wants to run a K and then have to eat something and then run 9 more.
But
and eat
if
at every
it's
one.
A beer, I bet they would do it.
Now that's a different story. But so I said, Joe, listen, I like your idea. Let's let it simmer a little bit. So I came back to Joe and I said, listen, it's a great idea. What if we did a 5K so that people could come and run, and then let's have the taste part afterwards so you could come and eat. And then also a lot of times, since I work at Second Soul, we see all different kinds of runners, and a lot of times it'll be, dad is a crazy runner and mom just watches the kids, or vice versa. Mom's out every morning running and dad's with the kids. So I said, what if we did the 5K and then also had a 0.0? So if you wanted to come and run, you could come and run. If you just want to come and eat, there's that option as well, to kind of tap into a little bit different market. And Joe was like, hey, that that could actually work.
Yeah.
So
All right, I can be persuaded.
Well,
yeah,
can someone win the 0.0?
I think whoever gets there first might be,
the winner.
or whoever has the most Penguin Cities might also be the winner.
Yeah, eats all the food.
Right.
Maybe
Goes
yeah.
to all the vendors.
Right.
And
To limit health impacts, maybe who finishes the most Penguin City before the first runner finishes, because that's what, like about 18 minutes probably
Yeah,
for a
something like
5K
that,
for the
yeah.
best
Yeah.
Right.
runners.
So
Just throwing that out there.
Right. You
Yeah.
go too long and someone could
Yeah,
end up in the
yeah,
hospital.
We don't
Right.
want any liability
you
for.
don't Yeah, and make sure if you do that, you don't want the prize to be anything good.
right.
Too,
It's like,
yeah.
well, you just get a little bit of recognition.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
No gold, no cash, no 20 cases of beer.
Right.
It's
You get a
just-
barf bag.
that I know. I can imagine like every mile. Here's a big plate of pierogies.
Oh.
Next mile, here's a big thing of sausage and pepper.
Right.
Do you remember when there was a contest on the radio a while ago, and it was who could drink the most water?
Oh,
And somebody
Oh,
drank so
they-
much water that the person died.
you get like
Yes.
water
Yeah, you
drunk
can't-
almost.
That's
You can't
crazy.
drink.
I've had friends that in college tried the milk challenge. Did you ever
Oh.
hear about that?
Yes.
Where you have to
No.
finish a gallon of
That
milk.
Right.
sounds
And let's just
awful.
say they did not make it out of the bathroom for about a day or two.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh my.
it All right. Well, we are back.
Yay.
Downtown Youngstown
We did it.
internet. We're not going to say the names or slander anyone's company, but the internet sometimes is not the friendliest down here. But anyways, we are back. I literally don't remember where we left off. We were talking about so many things.
Talking about
talking
Taste
about
of
Taste of
Youngstown.
Youngstown, toxicology. All kinds of stuff. We didn't really.
Explaining.
We didn't even get into
Yeah.
get into the meat
Right.
of Taste of Youngstown. No pun intended, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
So we first talked about this about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And you might have heard me say that I ran a Pittsburgh 10 miler, and they had a lot of different themes there regarding the city of Pittsburgh and food there. And I came back and I went up to Mark and said, Mark, let's do this in a 10K in downtown Youngstown.
Yep.
And he looked at me like I'm stupid. I'm not really stupid, right?
No, it was a great idea. It was
Ambitious? Is that the
Yeah.
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 It was
Persistent.
right.
That's more-
Very persistent. It was a great idea. Just the implementation needed adjusting
Right.
a little bit. So we ended up having it at the Canfield Fairgrounds,
Mhm.
mostly out of ease of use. We can put a 5K there. Everyone's safe. It's really easy to do.
Mhm.
They have a new event center that was great to have. All the seating was inside, so we didn't have to worry about the weather or anything. And Joe and I put together 10 different tastes from Youngstown, including a classic Youngstown cookie table. And so we've kind of built on that. And this year we're going to have it again. And it's going to be at Penguin City on June 9th. And just because the 5K distance has been done so many times and everybody's done a 5K, we decided that we want to get everybody a fresh PR, get everybody a new personal best for running a 4K. So we're going to run Andrews Avenue. It's going to be a 4K, which is a different distance, and it's going to be a ton of fun. And it's going to start and finish at Penguin City.
And there's a nice flow to that, a Friday 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A nice flow to that. And I guarantee anybody that runs the 0.0 will have their best PR. There's no doubt.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll
At
get-
very least, they're going to tie it.
I'll get my PR.
And as Mark was saying, the 0.0 are for the folks that don't want to walk or run and just come here, eat and drink. We're going to have live music there. So once again, we're going to go back to have all of the food that we had there last year, plus an additional one. So we're going to have Briar Hill Pizza there from Pizza Joe's, pierogies from Lena's Pierogi House, wedding soup.
Let's cook. All right. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
We're
Joe,
back.
please just start real quick and go through the list. The one of the food. Yeah.
Once again, we're going to have
Sorry.
Briar Hill Pizza from Pizza Joe's, pierogies from Lena's Pierogi House,
They're the best.
wedding soup from Love Soup out in McDonald, Ohio. They are fantastic. And Brucey's Original Peppers and Oil. Sunday gravy and pasta from Gio Russa's. The famous monkey salad of Antone's. Blueberry donuts from White House Farms. They are so famous. They go to New York Yankees and New York Mets games, and they're sent everywhere. We're going to have a huge cookie table. We're up to 750 cookies. And the number one request that we had from last year was you don't have greens and beans, Italian greens and beans. So Jimmy's Italian Specialties is donating greens and beans.
Oh, man.
Very nice.
That's
I'll
the-
have to get some of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause I-
absolutely. And greens, you could put on anything. You could put on the pizza. You could put on the pierogies. You could put more in the wedding soup. Put them on the cookies. Who knows? But it's really
You could drop
At your own
drop
risk.
in your glass of beer.
great. Yeah, exactly.
I'm wondering if Ambrosi's is okay if I call him Ambrosi's.
What the heck?
He does have a broken accent. He
But
really
you know,
does.
the Italian word, it's
Yeah.
hard not to say it, the Italian style, and a little
He
bit of
loves
this.
saying
I
that.
feel like this is a Roma kind of thing. I learned it from my
And-
actually our guy who brews with us.
Right.
And,
And,
Nicolello.
and, and
He
the
does a
thing
lot of
is, last year we had it at the Canfield Fairgrounds. This year, we are truly having the Taste of Youngstown in downtown at our host, Penguin City. So how you can't get more Youngstown than
No.
that.
Absolutely. And you guys, we were talking about golf before. We could probably hit a driver from here to
Oh,
Penguin City. Probably about, well,
You
maybe
get it on
maybe a
bounce.
really good golfer,
You
like a
get it on a
400.
bounce.
Yeah, on a
Yeah,
bounce if
get
you hit
John
it
Daly.
down Federal. Yeah.
Right.
But you guys are literally right down the street off of Federal. And what's the cross street there?
Andrews Avenue.
Andrews. Yeah. So I should probably know that. But
Since that's where the race is.
yeah, exactly.
Races down Andrews Avenue and back. It's a 4K or about 2.5 miles.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough for
No-
me.
and it's known right now that both Richie and Aspasia will be running the race.
Okay.
We're gonna run it together and
What?
have to motivate each other probably while we're running and be like,
You're
oh,
gonna be ahead of me.
oh,
I
You
feel
guys
like
both
it's-
look, you guys both look like you're in
Uh,
running shape. You're probably
feel like
ready to
it's the
go.
other way around. I feel like Richie might start out ahead, but it's Richie's
Yeah.
gonna come Justin and be
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
I'm not in good shape.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Hopefully
do
I
it.
don't look terrible, but I'm not.
No, we're gonna look good.
Cardio.
We're gonna be
I'm-
dressed. We're gonna
Yeah. Well, yeah. It doesn't matter.
have our penguin gear on.
Right. I might make a half a K, but as long as I put.
Half K. That's a new one.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna
Yeah.
start training. I'm gonna start training tomorrow.
Okay.
Good.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
to tomorrow.
To tomorrow.
Not supposed.
the race starts at 6:00.
Yep.
We're going to have live music there by Andy Brigo and this guy by the name of, what a cool name, Mario November. You can't have a better name than that.
He's a rock star with a name like that.
He's either a rock star or a
Whoa.
Yep.
another
So-
kind of star with that name.
It's guitar and percussion, and you could guess who's the percussion. That's Mario November.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
That's
cool.
great.
I like it.
So, and really what, June 9th, you said,
Mhm.
6 p.m. So most people are going to be done by 6:30, you would
Right.
think.
Yeah.
Perfect
yeah.
time to grab some food, have some beer. And all these vendors are going to be on site
On site.
on there,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like in the warehouse, right? In the
Best
tap
about
house.
it, what Penguin City has done is we'll be back in their Pollock Hall, it's called, right? Back in the event center.
Okay.
I wish it were Pollock because I am one of those. Pollock.
Pollock, I'm sorry. Pollock Hall,
Like
back
think-
in the back.
yeah.
So it's all private to us. So
Yeah.
there'll be directional signs going back there. They'll set up an additional bar. You do get a Penguin City beer with your meal too
Okay.
on us. So which is really cool.
Yeah.
And that back area is awesome.
It is.
When
Love
the
it.
Luke Bryan concert was going on, you guys hosted that boxing event, and I walked back there, and you guys had some pretty big names in attendance there. But
It was
that
wild.
area is awesome.
Oh, it was
Very,
wild.
very cool.
I was there for Federal Frenzy.
Okay.
Going back there, it was spectacular. I mean, the Summit FM was back there, all these different great bands,
Oh, yeah.
local bands. It was great.
And since you guys, have transformed that warehouse. I didn't even know that area existed until I walked back there that first time. And it's like this hidden gem that's back there. It's sweet.
Most people don't.
They
because
see the
they're-
black wall.
Mhm.
Yeah, we didn't. That wall didn't exist. Before we bought it, when we bought it, it didn't exist. We put that wall up, and it's black, so it's almost like it ends there. And then it's such a when you take people on that tour, it's such a and wait, there's more moment.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I thought this is already big. Yeah.
Yeah. As you walk back and
crazy.
go to that back room, your jaw just drops on how huge it is. So
Yeah.
that's great.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So tell us some other stuff that either with some like food vendors or race stuff, like what's the cost of doing the race and all that good stuff.
The cost for the 4K, or you could walk it, is
Mhm.
$40. If you want to do the 0.0, it's $35.
Mhm.
And 12 and under is $25. So
Okay.
that includes all the food I mentioned. Also a glass of beer from Penguin City. We're also giving out these really cool pint glasses that has all the vendors' names on there, as well as our logo, Penguin City's logo. Just to let you know this, Youngstown Marathon Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit.
Mhm.
We do raise money for local charities, and our local charities this year are the Autism Society of Moaning Valley, Buster's Brigade, which is for animals. We've been fighting this for years. We finally got an animal charity there. Dorothy's Day House, and you're familiar with this one, Golden String Radio.
Of course, I helped Jimmy Sutton set up Gold String Radio. Worked there for years. Jimmy's a good friend of mine, so yeah.
Yeah,
That one's definitely near and dear to my heart.
I thought it was.
Yeah. We were at Purple Cat Farm on Saturday. They had the big brew day there. So you got big homebrew thing,
Okay.
and yeah, it's so good to see a lot of the clients, good friends of mine I hadn't seen in a while.
That's awesome. So it's a fun local event
Oh,
that
yeah.
supports awesome local causes
Right.
as well.
It's a fun local event for families.
Mhm.
So everyone's invited. It's going to be a really fun time. As I said, music, dancing, beer, the 3 Ps, right?
Right.
Penguin City, pierogies, and pizza. Can't go wrong.
No, not
Really-
at all.
Really good things.
Not at all. So you guys, I want to ask you guys a couple questions about Penguin City since we have had you guys on. I know Aspasia's been on twice. Richie, you've been down here twice, but we featured you guys once. Since then, obviously, the transformation of the warehouse and all the work you've put into it. You've hosted boxing events. I saw an MMA thing recently. I know you've hosted YSU Penguin basketball watch parties, stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing down there and anything new for anyone that maybe hasn't been there yet.
Wow, that's loaded.
It is.
I'll
you
be
start
back
wherever
in
you
10
want.
minutes.
Start wherever you want.
What's new?
Well, I mean, the space was for the community.
Mhm.
I mean, that's kind of why we did this.
Yeah.
Because we were distributing, so we never really had a tap room.
Yeah, we definitely wanted like a community
Yeah.
center kind of place where you can drink beer and stuff,
Mhm.
host your events and whatever.
And we wanted to do, and we know that Youngstown, there's so many things that you can't do in downtown because
Mhm.
it's too small or too big. So it's like, I feel like that size can fit like that for the boxing events, for
Sure.
the MMA events, like things that seat 600 people, 800 people. Like we could have that. And I don't think there's many of those things downtown.
No, agreed.
So I really think that's nice to reach out to all those people. And Federal Frenzy had over 8,000 and
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
we're able to do it.
Wow.
And it was wild. So we want to just keep having those events and keep inviting people from the community to do things. Cause I just love seeing and meeting people and these organizations from our area, and you get to know them and everybody starts helping each other out. So
Mhm.
that's just kind of the big
What's the square footage again?
32,000.
32,000 square foot. And the ceilings are super high, which
Oh,
doesn't get
that's
included in that,
beautiful.
but
Between 40 and
Beautiful.
45 feet high.
Is that
that's
right?
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So and our friend Dan, who did all our lighting, he put all those beautiful LEDs.
Mhm.
So at night, it completely changes into another kind of atmosphere.
Mhm.
So it's really fun having the day and the nighttime be two different things. And we love the sports. I
Mhm.
mean, we love it.
Mhm.
I mean, when we walked in that warehouse, the first thing we said was, "I want boxing."
Mhm.
Like we called Jack Lowe
Mhm.
before like tanks were in,
Hmm.
and we brought him in and said, we need boxing.
Yeah.
Like right now. I imagine Rocky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like, because it's like, imagine a boxing match in this old warehouse. Like
Right.
how exciting and different.
Yeah, it really is it's
The MMA,
it's a good
wild.
environment for hosting
And how was
fights.
that? How was that
MMA
MMA
was
event?
Fun.
Amazing.
Wasn't it sold out?
I was a little nervous
Yeah,
because I never,
It sold out well.
we
in
only do
advance.
boxing. We only did the boxing. And I was like, MMA, that sounds wild. But no, it was really cool. Like the fighters were cool. The promoter was very nice. Everybody had a really good time. Like I was so surprised and had so much fun. So we're doing another one on Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
That'll be a big, they're gonna make it bigger, but we'll announce that soon.
Okay.
But yeah, and love working with YSU. Like love the parties that we do, the watch parties. For basketball was so fun. We got a basketball hoop in the
Mhm.
winter and had a basketball hoop, and it was you had 3 shots to make a 3-point shot, and if you got it, you got a beer or a pint glass. So like
Okay.
when you walked
That's
in,
awesome.
there
Yeah.
was this little activity you could do. I don't know, those little things
Yeah.
are just so fun.
It's fun. And
I
it,
worked that one.
how
My
did
work
you shoot
was-
33%?
I'm a decent 3-point
Yeah,
shooter.
It
yeah.
was, yeah.
Like my other basketball skills, I never really played on a team, so just that awareness of
Yeah.
teammates and like drills and whatnot. It's barely.
I've been
I'm a
around-
decent shooter.
I've been around basketball, I don't know, last 25 years, coaching, playing, whatever.
Mm.
But I've noticed as I get older, shooting is the last skill that is diminished. You
Oh.
like, you can't run as well as you can. You can't jump as well. You can't play as well of defense. But that shot is
Yeah,
the last
shot-
thing to
it's
go.
muscle memory. I mean, I hear that about boxing too. In the same sense where your power
Yeah.
is the last thing to go. You
Okay.
can still hit pretty hard. It's just your reaction time
Mm-hmm.
and everything. But
Okay.
yeah, so my job was just standing on the side and jumping and running to protect customers from a flying basketball that was bricked. Yeah.
Okay. And when you add a little bit of drinking to it, it might
Oh my
affect
gosh.
some of
That's
the
why
some of
they
the
do
shooting.
shoot when they first walk in.
Yes,
You
that's a
know
good
what?
point.
Had it
I
right
think
when
I
you
did.
walked in.
Sometimes it could help some people, like a bell curve. You know?
I did surprise some of our employees when I drained 4 threes in a row.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Yeah, I wanted 5, but like, yeah, just 5 sounds better than 4.
I think eventually they could maybe bring in. You have the space for it. Maybe bring in one of those courts you lay down on a flat surface. That's just something to think about.
And what
In
you
the
could do,
future.
like back in the day, do a Gus Macker 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard that in a while. Wow.
I know.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Our son participated in all the time. He traveled to like Buffalo and different places.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
Jeremy says hello from Youngstown Pizza Reviews. So
Jeremy.
what's up, Jeremy?
I was just talking to
Wow.
him today.
Yeah, because we're
Talking about
wait,
fireworks.
do we want to talk about? Are we allowed to talk about this thing that's gonna happen?
Well, that's
It's in the future.
August. Pickle Fest.
Youngstown Pickle Palooza.
Okay.
I saw that.
It's happening. Well, of course we can talk about it. We announced it. What am I thinking?
Yes.
We announced it on social
How
media.
about
We better
tease
start
it
talking
and then
about
we'll
it.
have you guys back on for that.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's
It's
August 19th.
Okay.
And more details to
It's-
come.
So is that
Yeah.
pickles you eat or pickle you play?
Everything.
Okay, I have a-
There's
I have a
big
quick
pickle-
question,
pickle-
too.
pickleball.
Now, I didn't even know this existed until about 10 years ago, but someone bought me a pickleback shot. So a shot of whiskey and then you
Oh,
do a
with
shot
the
of pickle
Right, right.
juice. And I was like, it sounds disgusting. It's actually really good.
people like
So
that.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
I
don't
like
know.
pickles
that'll
and
be
pickle juice in general. So
Stay hydrated too from a
Yes.
runner,
Yep.
from a runner's
Oh, you get
perspective.
the salt.
It's like better than
Oh,
Gatorade and
Like
electrolytes.
That's-
okay.
So
Just-
You
yeah,
did your
and,
pickleback shot. Oh yeah. that's a
but
good
with
idea.
Youngstown Marathon, I love doing this because a lot of people do reach out to us about, because other breweries I'll see in Cleveland and
Mhm.
other bigger cities, they work a lot with like running clubs and
Yeah,
they'll meet at the brewery, run,
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
and then
Yes.
hang out and have a beer after. So I feel like this just fits in with what a lot of other breweries are doing, like in bigger cities. So
Mhm.
it just kind of gives that big city feel.
It's not the only reason we run. It's just one of the reasons that
You're
we run.
you're earning your beverages.
That's right.
You're
I can't
earning your
thank
beverages.
Penguin City enough, through the number of years they've helped us out with the marathon and came up with a beer dedicated for the marathon, the Louderman's Dark Lager,
Oh, yeah.
which is which is a killer one.
It's
So,
delicious.
Oh, it is. It's delicious. So
This light, I love it. Right?
Oh yeah, it's just like a nice. Yeah, like it's the Schwarzbier style.
Okay.
Which is just dark lager. We decided to go. Well, you may have seen the honey dark lager, which
Right.
is very similar, but we added some locally sourced honey to it, and it just gets a tiny.
Sounds
bit of
good.
sweetness to
Yeah.
it.
I got to say this. I was at Penguin City for both St. Patrick's Day and Thorough Friend Frenzy, where it's like shoulder to shoulder and just a great time. The thing that you did for St. Patrick's Day was phenomenal. I mean, between the drums and the pipes and the food
Oh.
there, it was just phenomenal.
I saw some people
I'm
even
stressed
shaving
out.
their heads there for a
St.
good
Paul's.
cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, St. Baldrick's. The organizer for that, he used to do them somewhere else, and then when COVID happened, kind of didn't happen, and then he was just like, I really want to bring this back because other cities do it, and it's
Yeah.
a pretty big deal. He was like, let's see what happens, and he said he usually would make, I don't know, a couple thousand, and I think he ended over 15.
Wow.
Yeah. he
So
raised
he's
Wow.
like, can we do this again next
That's
year?
phenomenal.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So hopefully we
too
make
crazy.
it bigger.
We had two of our
Two of ours. Yeah, we had employees
shave
that
their
battled
heads.
to get donations because it's donation. Like that's how you do it. You get so many donations, and then
Okay.
if you hit that number, you have to
Shave your
or
head.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
they were trying to do it where whoever got the more sponsorships,
yeah, it was like that.
wouldn't have to shave their head.
Okay.
They
I
ended
think
up both doing it.
their camaraderie. They just both did it, and they both
awesome.
look fine. They look good.
So we obviously have Penguin City. We got Joe from the Youngstown Marathon, and tell us how Second Soul's involved in this.
So this whole thing started in January of 2017 when a local person came in and there had been some funding pledged to have a marathon in Youngstown.
Mm-hmm.
And, they came in and said, we have some money to back it and we have a date picked out.
Sure.
And the date was June. And, I'm a race director. I've been putting races on myself since about 2013, so about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people come in. We time races from the store, and we'll come out and time events for people. And we usually recommend between 6 months and a year to plan a 5K. So
Mhm.
you want to have some time to figure out your date and the course and the logistics and all the things you need. And she said that it's January, and she said the date is in June, and we're going to have it in June.
Okay.
And so, our staff looked at each other and were like, there's no way
That's
this is
intimidating.
going to happen.
Yeah.
So we said, why don't you go back and see if we can do it at a different time? So we met again in February. So now we're, less than under the wire, right?
Mhm.
The pressure's really on. And she was like, no, we're doing it in June, and we'd like, your guys' help. So I basically became the race director for
Okay.
Youngstown Marathon. So one of the hardest things planning wise was figuring out 26 miles that you can run, and it runs through Boardman and Mill Creek Park and Youngstown. So you got 3 jurisdictions to deal with, and have 26 miles line up, a start and a finish, with 13.1 miles. So you have a half and a full that start and finish together.
Mm-hmm.
And then also find a 5K course. So I don't know how we pulled it off, but it was hot as all get out. And we had the Youngstown Marathon the first year in 2017. So since then, the course has changed some, but Youngstown Marathon Foundation was formed around the event. And we've been able to give back over $30,000 to different local charities, which, I know Joe feels really strongly about, and I feel really strongly about, getting good causes and trying to keep the money local to support the community at large. And I feel like we've had a ton of support from, runners and different other charities that have come out and worked and donated their time and services to our larger cause. But that's kind of the basis of how this all started. And so, during COVID, we had to adjust some things, but
virtual. We did a virtual
Right.
one.
So, but that's all part of the journey, is just trying to grow and learn and make it better. And that's part of the reason why we do Taste of Youngstown is to help raise awareness for our beneficiaries. So they're all going to be out at the event, which is a great opportunity for them to get in touch with, you know, runners in the running community and their families as well, because it is a very family-centric event. Whether you have, you know, someone who runs or walks, you can bring the whole family out and have everyone sit down and have a meal together, which a lot of times doesn't happen in this day and age, which is a really cool opportunity. But also raise some money and raise some awareness for the Youngstown Marathon event that's going to happen in October.
That's great.
And we're doing something different this year in the Youngstown Marathon. We put the full marathon on hold, for a little bit. So this year, what we're doing is the half marathon, the 5K, and what we're introducing is a half marathon relay for both corporations as well as friends. So we want to bring back like a little bit of the community cup that was here many years ago. Yeah. So put businesses against businesses, and we'll have, you know, and they'll be the talk of the town. I mean, they'll get the bragging rights. So we'll have 4 different categories. The corporate one, all male, all female, and co-ed.
Okay.
So get your businesses out there, come out and get that big trophy and circulate it around.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So the really cool part about our relay is I think Richie just got roped into a half marathon relay. Here's the good part. Okay. So here's the rundown. A half marathon is 13.1 miles for anyone who doesn't know how far a half marathon is. So it's 13.1 miles. The relay is going to be a 3-person relay. There's going to be the first leg is about 4.7 miles. The second leg is the hardest one. So it's only 4.0 is 4 miles on the button. And then the last leg just has to finish it back out. It's about 4.3. Yeah. So that middle leg kept it a little bit shorter. But the other really cool thing is the exchange zone between legs 1 to 2 and legs 2 to 3 is at the same spot. So you can just hop, the 2 people can hop in the car together, drive out to the exchange zone, and be able to cheer each other on. All of the relay teams are going to all be together. So really you're just waiting for your team to come back, and then you guys can hopefully legs 1 and 2 can drive back and be back in time to the finish line to cheer on the finish. You got it. Have some Lanterman's dark lager at the finish line.
Look at that. Like a logistical genius there.
I got to get Mario. I got to message Mario.
I mean, this is a good reason for me to get in shape.
To drink.
You see that with a lot of enthusiasm there, Richie.
Well, I'm putting it off because when you're out of shape, getting in shape is the worst. A little bit of your cardio back, and then it's fun. Yeah, I need to get started. I'm an old man, and I need to get back.
I'm with you there. I think once you like, I used to be able to run, and I was never a runner. Like how many marathons have you run?
0.
You haven't run one?
I've never done them.
I
planned.
You've run 3. So between the 5 of us, we've run 3 marathons here. Right. That's still impressive.
I'm the race director for a marathon. So every year people ask.
You're a runner though.
Yeah, but he's in the Bourbon Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know he is.
So yeah, I started on the exact opposite end of the marathon. I was 110-meter hurdle.
Yeah, right.
So it was go fast and not turn. Yeah. So you know, just run straight down the track, and when the track turns, that's usually enough.
And then it exerts a lot of energy.
Sure.
Yes.
Hurdling part.
Yeah. So you know, I'm married into distance running.
Okay.
Well, you ran your first half this past year, right?
I did. Yeah. So I ran.
Which is the most difficult race in the United States.
It was our half. It was our half. Yeah. So it was a really cool opportunity to run a race that I've planned, because it gives you a really different perspective. I can, you know, look at a sheet of paper and know where water stops need to go and where volunteers need to be placed and signage and all those kinds of different things. But to be out and go do it and see it from the runner's perspective was a really cool experience. I had a couple friends and coworkers go run with me. So it was really neat to be able to see it and say, you know, there's a lot of really good things about our course. You know, maybe we need to shift the water stops a little bit so they're a little bit easier, a little bit different, those kinds of things. But overall, I can say we put on a really good event.
There's actually like legal ramifications, right? For a marathon, you have to have water stops at X amount of
I don't
Ks
know.
or miles
Actually,
or-
I don't know that there's any specific set minimums.
Okay.
I use a 2 miles
Okay.
rule of
Yeah,
thumb.
makes
You know,
sense.
I want to make sure that there's water accessible to everyone. I want to have nutrition out on the
Mhm.
course. We have gels out on the course every year. We have Gatorade out on the course, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
so you can get electrolytes and stay hydrated when you're out there doing it. But I like to use about 2 miles. So sometimes they're a little closer together, but right around that 2 mile mark, you want to make sure you're taking some water.
And our marathon or half marathon is in majestic Mill Creek Park, which is one
It
of
is
the most
beautiful.
beautiful places on the
Mhm.
face of the earth.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. So let me ask this really quick.
Sure.
Before we like close out, we got about 5 or so minutes left. Give me the list of 10 things again, the food
The
items.
food option?
Yeah.
Sure. Bar Hill Pizza from Pizza Joe's.
Okay.
Pierogies from Lena's Pierogi House. Wedding Soup from Love Soup. Ambrosi's Original Peppers and Oils. DeRusso Sausage. Sunday Gravy and Pasta from Gina Russa's. Monkey Salad from Antone's. Blueberry Donuts from White House Farms. Penguin City. Italian Greens and Beans from Jimmy's Italian Specialties. And
Oh,
a
11.
huge-
11.
a
Yeah.
huge cookie table.
All right. So we got 11 then. You get the cookie table as
Yeah.
the bonus.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
exactly.
So let me go around. You have to pick, and you guys can't pick Penguin City. We're going to eliminate. None of you guys can pick Penguin City
Fair.
because,
Okay.
just to.
Because it's
Avoid-
the only alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you have
Fair.
to pick a food item out of that list.
Oh,
What's your one food item? You can only pick one. What's your one food item?
Believe it or not, for me,
Yeah.
it's the Italian greens and beans. Because
Okay.
I could put that on anything, and it's
Oh man.
universal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
It's the Italian in Joe
It's
that's
the
got to get
Italian
the
in
green.
me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Richie, do you have one?
So, It's the Polish in me. I gotta go with the pierogies.
yeah.
Okay.
They're so good. Lena's Pierogi House is the
Yeah.
best.
I can't believe you didn't
good.
say pasta.
It's hard.
I know
I
that's
mean,
a tough one.
All right,
I'm gonna
Aspasia.
say the wedding soup.
Okay.
The runner in me has me going blueberry donuts.
Okay.
It's the trump card.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my trump card.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
right.
Sugary carbs. Yeah.
I
Yes.
think I would have to go pasta if I'm picking one, but
Yeah.
It's
you
tough.
literally cannot go wrong with any of
This
those
is truly,
choices.
truly Youngstown
Yeah.
food.
It
It
is.
really is.
And the cool thing is too, we're all from Youngstown. We're all from, at least from the Youngstown area,
Born and raised.
whether
Yeah.
it's Camel or McDonald, right?
Originally from the west side of Youngstown.
Okay.
I mean, I lived there most of my life until I bought the house in McDonald.
Richie, where'd you grow up?
Boardman.
Okay.
Canfield,
Yeah.
North side.
Yeah. Same here. I grew up in like the Cornersburg area. I live in Canfield now, and you're a Boardman
Liberty-
guy.
Went to Liberty for elementary and middle,
Oh,
and then
okay.
Boardman for high school. Yeah.
Now, do you guys feel like being from Youngstown, you go outside of Youngstown? I know you guys distribute now a lot of different places. Do you feel like you have to defend Youngstown no matter where you go? Like, oh, that's the mob capital of the world and this and that. And like people
I do.
like, like they that have never been here or have passed through one or two times
Mhm.
will not have the best light sometimes of Youngstown. Do you guys feel like you have to defend it when you go outside the city?
I do. But I always put a positive spin.
Yes.
Okay. There's so many great things out of Youngstown.
Mhm,
Youngstown had a Heisman Trophy winner. I
mhm.
mean, there's so many different things.
From Cheney, right?
You got it.
Yep.
High
And
school.
he played for the Georgia
He
Bulldogs
did,
of all
yeah,
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Got a lot of
yeah.
boxing champions.
And
A
boxing
lot of
champions.
boxing.
Right.
Harry Royal,
Yeah.
Kelly Pavlik, Jeff Lampkin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Bula
just
Mancini.
Boom, boom.
right.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Wow.
I mean, really, the thing is, to me, I was born in Southern California, moved here as a kid. I've spent time in New York City and Washington D.C. and a lot of different places, and there isn't a sense of community
I 100%
other
agree.
places like there is in Youngstown. And it's maybe when we're outside of
Mhm.
Youngstown, we have to defend it a little
Yes.
bit. But I will say it's something worth defending.
It is,
Amen.
Absolutely.
So I've
Agreed.
experienced a lot of this. Well, I don't know if you guys know this. My sole income was a touring musician for a little while.
I know that.
And I was always talking about Youngstown
Yeah.
from the stage. And I did get to see a lot of different areas. And I noticed, and I've talked about this a lot, just casually, how because we are so small here,
Mhm.
that we're not very cliquish. You go to a place, most people don't have the same color hair and same haircut, like
Mhm.
maybe Williamsburg and Brooklyn. where everybody had dyed black hair and the same black clothes and everything. So like we just
Right.
all get along.
Yeah.
Like, it's really I like that so much better than a cliquish
Yeah.
kind of place.
Good.
Yeah, I think too, just like our mission is to change that narrative of the negative thinking. But
Mhm.
and I think it's just after the still mills, we were programmed to just promote the negative.
Yes.
I just feel it. Every
Mhm.
time there is something negative, it gets pushed in the news more than something positive. That's how it's been since we were growing up. And the people like us, people like you guys, people like, my neighbor Hannah who has dope, like
Mhm.
the more we just keep pushing that positive and making the news push those positive events over these negative ones, it'll change.
There's a hell of a lot
So
of good here.
That's just what it is. It's
Mhm.
going to
Oh, yeah.
take a whole force of people. And still, like, I'll see people on my posts, like, from our town. Just
Yeah.
like, I can't believe you picked Youngstown to put your brewery, like, murder capital. It's like, so there's a lot
Yeah.
of years.
It's also
that have been
2023. This
put
isn't
in there.
1990
Right.
anymore.
But
Yeah.
so it's just
And
it's
it's
just
our
going
home.
to take
It's
a lot
our
of
home.
work
Right.
to
Yep.
change it, but slowly it is,
hmm
and it's going to be a slow.
The
build, but
changes
it's gonna
are
happen.
slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Like you go back 20, 30 years, where we have come from then is amazing. And
Yep.
anyone that maybe is out of town watching or, hasn't been downtown in a while, come down and check it out.
Right.
Besides the
Yeah.
construction
Yeah.
in a few
Yeah.
areas,
Yeah.
it's pretty great.
Just ignore that
Just
part.
ignore- yeah, just ignore that.
Right. Best thing is their tagline, which hit the home run.
Yes.
Tough times don't last, tough cities do.
Amen.
Which is
No.
perfect.
Yes.
It is
We
perfect.
keep getting up here in Youngstown.
No
We do
doubt.
not give
Yeah,
up.
and
It's
I
not
gotta
easy
say
here,
this.
but
I've been to all 50 states,
Mhm.
traveling wise. There isn't a better place that has better food than the
Mhm.
city of Youngstown.
100%.
man. Yeah, #1 pizza destination.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure.
And you guys mentioned the boxers from here. You've
Yeah.
mentioned the other champions. We also have, Coach Tressel, Coach
Oh,
Stoops,
Right.
a ton of college coaches. And we also, from your neck of the woods in Camel, on this very show, we've had Melanie Valerio, an Olympic gold medalist in swimming.
Right.
We have so much, not just sports, but just so much good that comes out of Youngstown, but also feeds right back into the city.
And the gentleman that was playing baseball that shook Jackie Robinson's
Yeah.
hand, George, I can't think of his
Oh, Shuba.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, there another iconic.
hmm
Dave
No doubt.
Dravecki.
Dave
Dave
Dravecki.
Dave Dravecki, a Boardman guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We got a lot in Bernie Kosar. I mean, we
Yeah.
could go on and on. He was at your guys.
He was.
I'll tell you what.
We forgot
All right.
to have him sign the wall.
I will tell you this. Here's and Joe knows this. Joe Danier knows this. I'm a lifelong Browns fan, long suffering Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah.
Next to Bernie Kosar, Eric Metcalf was my favorite player growing up, but Bernie being from Boardman, I graduated from Boardman. Mark, I know, graduated from Boardman. Bernie, I've reached out with, I've talked to. Bernie's been great. I cannot get him on the show because his publicist will not get back to me. And so if anybody has a Bernie connection outside of that, he will come on. I will.
That's fine.
We'll work on it.
Thank you.
There you go.
So let me ask you this question to end this, and then I'm going
Sure.
to have you just give the details as we close. If you could have, since we're talking Penguin City, since we're talking running, since we're talking Youngstown, if you can have one drink, one Penguin City beer, whatever your drink of choice is, but we're going to go with Penguin City Light because I freaking love this can,
Thank you.
by
Yeah,
the
me
way. If you can have one Penguin City beer with any person, doesn't have to be an athlete, they don't have to be alive.
They don't have to be alive.
No, any
Wow, that's
person,
easy now.
living or dead, who would
Oh
it
my
be?
God, this is too
That's
hard.
deep.
You
No,
can
this is
pass
easy.
and think about it for next time.
I already know.
I would have a Latimer's Dark Lager with John F. Kennedy.
Oh,
That's a good
But
pick.
my foursome for golf would be Paul McCartney, John F. Kennedy, and Jack Nicklaus. I know I could beat Paul. So
okay. You got yours, you said.
I'd have a honey dark lager with Rudy Ray Moore, famous for his character Dolomite.
Oh,
That's interesting.
I gotta pass.
I like that. No, all right. So Aspasia, think about this one when the Pickle Fest comes back and we do that,
Yeah.
you'll have your answer for that. You can think about
Close second is Chris Elliott too. I really
Okay.
have a
He
beer with
likes
Chris
that
Elliott.
comedian.
it. Chris Elliott, he was in Schitt's Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
yes.
okay. He's been in a ton of
He
shit. Like,
loves
He
it.
Oh,
had
yeah.
his own wacky
Okay,
show that only
yeah.
lasted 2 seasons. It was called Get a Life, where he was
Okay.
a 30-year-old paper boy living in his parents' house. Yeah, I really like Chris Elliott.
can I give you my favorite Chris Elliott character real quick?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember which one, but Scary Movie where he's the butler and he's
Oh.
got the tiny little hand.
Yes.
That's right. He's in that. Oh man, he's in that Eagle Heart too. If you haven't watched Eagle Heart, where
Okay.
he's I don't even know, cop detective guy. It's over the top ridiculous.
Okay.
Episodes are like 10 minutes long. It's absolutely insane.
Okay,
Okay.
I found one.
Okay,
Wait,
all right.
This person, wait, they could be.
They could be dead.
Okay,
be
it would be my great grandfather because he owned all those saloons in downtown
Oh,
Youngstown.
yeah.
So it would be cool to sit with him and say,
That's
"Hey, I have a
awesome.
bar too," and I'm your
And
great
compare the
granddaughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of an interesting conversation.
Okay.
That's really
Okay.
interesting.
Mark, you got one?
That's a really tough question.
I know, right?
It's a really tough.
It's a tough question when you're not prompted. So
I mean,
this is on the
Joe,
spot.
Joe, it
That's
was
tough.
loaded. Joe was ready
Joe
to
was
go.
like,
He was on the money.
He must have knew.
Joe's got a big
He's
list.
got
of
notes. Okay, I'll go 2.
Okay.
Living, Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay. All
One
right.
of my favorite actors all time. Growing up, he's hilarious. I think he has some really interesting takes on life in general now that he's seen more things and had more experience. Dead, that inspired me. I'm actually related to John Witherspoon, which I'm sure no one knows.
Sounds
but
like a
he
writer.
signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh.
So I would love to find out about how you get to be in that position of power to even be considered to sign a document like that.
Yes.
That's very historical. So those are okay.
Okay.
Now you're on the spot.
I
Here's
like
yours.
that.
You
I-
asked this question though, so you have ideas.
I was thinking as I normally prepare the questions and I don't have my own answers,
Yeah.
but I was thinking as you guys were answering, I think alive, I would go someone funny like an Adam Sandler
Yeah.
or someone like that. So I'll say Adam Sandler just to keep it light. And I think dead, I would probably go someone like Abraham Lincoln, someone historical.
Yeah.
That would be
That you
really
really-
interesting to see how, like, in a interesting time, how things were, or and I think as a president, you're privy to a little bit more information than the rest of the people.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well,
So-
I didn't realize we were doing Dead Alive, and it turns out mine, Rudy
He's
Ray
dead.
Moore, he died a little while
Do you
ago.
have an alive
You
one?
said Chris.
Oh yeah,
Elliott.
Chris Elliott.
Oh, Chris
Alive
Elliott.
a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, he's got that movie
For
called
me,
Claire's
alive,
Ghost.
because I didn't say alive, would be Jack Nicklaus.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I will say last week I got to have a drink last weekend. So about 6 days ago, I got to have a drink with David Robinson,
Ooh.
former NBA player, John
Yeah.
McEnroe.
Oh,
Did you,
What?
Mac?
Yeah.
Really?
And,
Did he yell at you?
he didn't. I will say because he is New York City through and through.
Oh, yeah,
He is very New York City. He's not the most approachable guy,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
I will not say I had a whole drink with him, but I had a couple sips
Sure.
and took a picture and BS with him for a minute. But
Did David
but yeah.
Robinson- did he play for the Spurs?
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
and like
Navy.
I'm
He
6'2",
Yeah.
and I look like I look like I'm 5 foot next to him. He is a
Wasn't he like
big
a
dude.
submarine commander too?
He was. They call him the Admiral
The
because he was
Admiral.
he played basketball at Navy and
Right.
was in the military as well. So last guy in the NBA to have a quadruple double,
Is that right?
1994. So we're talking 30 years ago. Last person to do that. So LeBron James, I might add to my list too, just because
Yeah.
he's a 330 guy
Oh yeah.
from
yeah,
Akron,
makes
right up
sense.
the
Yeah.
road. So give us details before we close out.
Sure.
One, we went about 6 minutes longer, but we had some internet issues, so
Sure.
we'll
All right.
blame it on that.
Once again, the Taste of Youngstown is June 9th at Penguin City. We have the 4K and 0.0. Cost is $40 for the 4K or walk, $35 for the 0.0, 12 and under, $25. We have an array of food, which I mentioned half a dozen times. Live music by Jack Brigo and Marino November. Once again, that's
What a great name!
Yeah, I'm thinking like quarter.
Bring him back for Thanksgiving.
Really?
Too.
Yeah, right.
And Marino November.
Right. Yeah. So
That's a
yeah.
before and
So
after.
it's, once again, it's the Taste of Youngstown. We have food associated with the city itself. We're going to have a raffle there, 50-50. We'll probably throw out some trivia questions regarding the city of Youngstown. So be prepared. Have fun.
Well, Joe, Richie, Aspasia, Mark, thank you for coming down. June 9th, check it out. Get in there, whether you're a runner or not. Eat some good food, have some good beer, and support some good causes. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks for watching Youngstown Studio and the 330 Sports Show. We will see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content.